Our top story, Russian President Vladimir Putin has put the West on notice. He has said any attempt to tamper with Russia's sovereignty will be repelled with all weapons system at its disposal. This as Russia gets ready to hold a referendum in 4 Ukrainian territories this week and has announced a partial mobilization of its forces ahead of that. The West has rejected the move for referendum as sham ballot suggesting it's an illegal means to annex Ukrainian territory.
Граждане России могут быть уверены, территориальная целостность нашей Родины, наша независимость и свобода будут обеспечены. Подчеркну это еще раз. Всеми имеющимися у нас средствами. А те, кто пытаются шантажировать нас ядерным оружием, должны знать, что роза ветров может развернуться и в их сторону.
A clear warning from Russian President Vladimir Putin. All means will be used by Russia in the war against Ukraine. President Putin calling for a partial mobilization of forces ahead of the referendum announced by Russia in eastern Ukraine, in Donetsk, Lugansk, Kherson and Zaporizhia.
Парламенты народных республик Донбасса, а также военно-гражданские администрации Херсонской и Запорожской областей приняли решение о проведении референдумов о будущем этих территорий и обратились к нам, к России, с просьбой поддержать такой шаг. Подчеркну, мы сделаем все, чтобы обеспечить безопасные условия для проведения референдумов, для того, чтобы люди могли выразить свою волю. И то решение о своем будущем, которое примет большинство жителей Донецкой и Луганской народных республик, Запорожской и Херсонской областей, мы поддержим.
Just 5 days ago, as he met Prime Minister Modi in Samarkand, Uzbekistan, on the sidelines of the SCO summit, he had accused Ukraine of refusing to negotiate. The Prime Minister, though, told President Putin that it's not the time for war, even though he added that the friendship with Russia remains strong. A statement referred to by French President Emmanuel Macron at the UNGA before President Putin's address to the nation.
Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India, was right when he said the time is not for war. It is not for revenge against the West or for opposing the West against the East. It is the time for a collective time for our sovereign equal states to cope together with challenges we face.
The US too welcoming the move by India, a country that has taken a neutral position on the Ukraine crisis so far, to call for cessation of hostilities.
I think what Prime Minister Modi said, a statement of principle on behalf of what he believes is right and just, was very much welcomed by the United States.
Even as the West has already rejected any referendum, calling it a sham ballot, Russia has called 300,000 reservists as it makes the move, which West believes is to annex more Ukrainian territory in the face of the reverses suffered in Kharkiv last week. Bureau Report, NDTV. Why is President Putin taking this step? Let me now go across to Vishnu, who will help us understand why this announcement today.
Well, let's take a look at maps, Maha. And before we actually do that, the point is this. Ukraine has recaptured more than 7,000 square kilometers of territory which Russia had captured some time back. And it is a staggering pace at which Ukraine has actually been able to do that. City after city which had been captured by Russian forces have been recaptured by Ukraine, which is why when Putin makes a nuclear threat today, it's because, let's face it, at the moment, as of now, he's losing the war. So he's upped the ante, as it were. But here's a map of Ukraine. What you're going to see are the areas first in the east and the south of the country where fighting is actually on. So we're going to be focusing on the east of the country. We have Kharkiv, which has been encircled over there. That's the area we're going to look at very closely. And those blue areas near Kharkiv, we're going to be talking about that very, very soon. Right over there, the Kharkiv area and the blue areas are those areas where the Ukrainians have recaptured territory. Specifically, these are the areas where the Ukrainian forces have advanced. The blue areas, territory that they have recaptured. Firstly, the critical town of Kupiansk that they have recaptured. They've recaptured Izium as well. It had taken the Russians a month to get Izium. They took it in 2 days. Further south, Liman, where fighting is still going on, and finally the town of Lysychansk, where again fighting is carrying on. So these are areas where the Ukrainians have made a lot of progress. Liman, in fact, by now it is believed to be in Ukrainian control. But further south, there's a lot of fighting where the Russians have actually had a counter-offensive in that area, which is called Bakhmut. The Russians have prevented the Ukrainians from capturing that area as well. Let's move to the south west of the country, where there's a simultaneous offensive taking place in the Kherson area. You can see Kherson written there in the bottom of your screen, and all of those 5 areas which have been encircled are areas where the Ukrainians continue to mount offensives.
Many thanks, Vishnu, for explaining that to us over here. Clearly, the reversals that Russia has suffered could have triggered the announcement today.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on now to the other big story that we are tracking at the moment. This is from Punjab, where the governor, Banwarilal Purohit, has withdrawn an order for summoning a special session of the Punjab Vidhan Sabha on the 22nd of September. In a fresh order, the governor said that the September 20th order stands withdrawn in the absence of specific rules regarding summoning of the assembly for considering the confidence motion called by the Punjab government. Ghazali is now joining us with more details. Ghazali, what reason has been cited for this change in stand by the governor?
See, the governor has earlier issued an order that the special session of the assembly can be summoned. This order was issued by the governor of Punjab, Mr. Purohit, on September 20th. But today morning, representation from leader of opposition, Mr. Pratap Bajwa, who is a Congress MLA, and state BJP president, Ashwini Sharma, who is also an MLA, they both submitted a representation to the Punjab governor saying that under the business and conduct rules of the Punjab Assembly, there is no such provision that an assembly session can be summoned under the provision of confidence motion. The provision says that a no confidence motion can be moved. For that, the special assembly session can be summoned. And citing this, the governor says in his order that he took legal opinion from Additional Solicitor General of India, Mr. Satyapal Jain, and even he suggested the same, that this assembly session legally can't be summoned, and hence he has withdrawn his earlier order. Now, this has not happened in the recent past in Punjab, where Chief Minister and the Governor of Punjab have locked horns. I only remember that last time when Mr. Channi was the Chief Minister, he had approved through his cabinet regularization of contractual employees, but the governor had blocked it, citing some objections. But since Mr. Maan has taken over as the Chief Minister, they both went and visited border areas weeks after Maan became the Chief Minister, and it all appeared that the new Chief Minister of Punjab will have cordial relations with the Governor of Punjab. But this has certainly come as a surprise, not only for the Aam Aadmi Party, but also for opposition parties who have been submitting many such representations criticizing the Punjab government, but Governor had not taken a serious view of all those previous representations. But now blocking or sort of withdrawing order to summon this assembly session has certainly come as a surprise for every political party in Punjab. Now it will have to be seen that what will Aam Aadmi Party government do in Punjab, because to summon the assembly session, you can say that another resolution can be passed, like pending issues of SYL is there. The previous assembly sessions have been summoned by the government. Special sessions have been summoned to pass a resolution over the rights of Chandigarh, that Punjab has exclusive right on Chandigarh. So that session was brought in. Now, if the government wants to summon a special assembly session, will they add another resolution to say that we will pass this resolution and hence we are summoning the assembly, and then the governor will approve it? So what will be the next move of the government? That is expected at 8:30, when Aman Arora, one of the cabinet ministers of Punjab, will address the media there in Chandigarh to sort of share what will be the future course of action for the Aam Aadmi Party government here in Punjab, because confrontation of Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi with LG is well known, but it has never happened in Punjab in the recent past. So we'll have to see that what recourse will the Aam Aadmi Party government here in Punjab will take to avoid or to ensure that that session is summoned here in Punjab.
All right, Ghazali, many thanks for joining us with all those details from Punjab. Let's move on now. It's for the first time in 22 years that the Congress party will see elections for the chief of the party. However, one likely contender remains on the edge. Ashok Gehlot, in a bid to hold on both to the chief minister's chair and still be party chief if he wins, displayed his political clout in a late-night meeting on Tuesday. This was less than 12 hours before he met interim party chief Sonia Gandhi. She, though, has told him she won't take sides. Sunil Prabhu and Shrija report on the battle royale.
Ashok Gehlot in Delhi today to meet Sonia Gandhi to try and persuade the High Command to keep him on as Rajasthan Chief Minister even if he becomes party president. Before his meeting, he claimed that any Congress member can hold 2 posts.
नहीं रहना नहीं रहने की बात मैं नहीं कर रहा हूँ वो तो समय बताएगा कि मैं कहाँ रहूँ कहाँ नहीं रहूँ कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष चुनाव ओपन है इसमें कोई भी खड़ा हो सकता है
The Congress constitution has no bar on holding 2 posts, but a declaration adopted by the Congress party in Udaipur on 15th May 2022 clearly says one man, one post. After Gehlot's meeting with Sonia Gandhi, Congress General Secretary K.C. Venugopal said Sonia Gandhi had told Gehlot that the Gandhis would not take sides and would be neutral, that no candidates would be endorsed by the Gandhis, and that the one-man, one-post issue would depend on who was contesting. Former Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, Digvijay Singh, told NDTV that Mr. Gehlot will have to quit as Chief Minister if he is elected to the top post. But Mr. Gehlot is pulling out all stops to block his rivals, Sachin Pilot, from becoming Chief Minister. Pilot, who flew into Kerala to accompany Rahul Gandhi on the Congress's Bharat Jodo Yatra, told NDTV whether he or Gehlot becomes Chief Minister is up to the Congress.
Is it a unanimous decision right now what we are looking at in terms of, for the CM's post? If Mr. Gehlot gives up his CM's post?
So, 2018 when the elections were held, all elected MLAs, all of us, we got together and we left the decision of who will become Chief Minister to the party president at that point. Nothing has changed. So whoever will lead, who will work in what position, all that decision will be taken by the Congress leadership. Whether it's Mr. Gehlot, whether it's me, whether it's any leader in any state, we've all said that publicly. So I think there is no debate or a counter-argument to that.
In Delhi, Shashi Tharoor, who is fighting the Congress elections, visited the Congress party office to meet Congress poll panel chief Madhusudan Mistry and inspect the list of voters.
How did it go, sir? Because was he satisfied? Is he happy that there is full, clear, transparent system?
Very well. He is satisfied. He saw the list and so on. He had some point which we clarified it.
With Harsha Kumari Singh and Sunil Prabhu, Usama Shah for NDTV.
Let's move on now. After the wheat crop suffered due to a sudden spike in temperatures in March this year, now a rain deficit in 7 states is leading to concerns over the Kharif crop. Uttar Pradesh, for instance, has reported 37% below average rainfall even as the monsoons begin to withdraw.
Belated downpours across Uttar Pradesh. But is this rain enough to wipe out the big monsoon deficit in the state? And across 6 states, including Bihar and Punjab. According to data released by the Indian Met Department, Uttar Pradesh has the biggest monsoon deficit this season at a huge -37%, followed by Bihar at -30%, Punjab at -21%, and Jharkhand at -20%. The northeastern states of Manipur, Tripura and Mizoram are rain deficient too.
पूर्व उत्तर प्रदेश बिहार झारखंड इसमें इम्पैक्ट तो आ रहा है न्यूज में हमारे पास वो डाटा नहीं होता है रेन कम है
The big worry here is about the impact of deficient rainfall on the sowing of important kharif crops, especially in major rice producing states like Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand and West Bengal, where sowing this year has been much lesser than last year, and there are worries about its impact on the output too.
Data from the Government of India's Agriculture Department shows the area under which rice is sown has decreased by 18.90 lakh hectares this year from 2021. The decrease is most in Jharkhand, followed by Madhya Pradesh, West Bengal and UP. The area sown for pulses is also down by 5.58 lakh hectares this year, with the biggest decrease being in Maharashtra.
इस बार बारिश न होने के कारण किसान बहुत परेशान हैं और हम लोग टेबल से पानी लगाते हैं रात बिरात में तो उससे कुछ पूर्ति नहीं हो पा रही है।
इस बार पानी के न बरसने पर गन्ना, धान, ज्वार, बाजरा, उड़द, तिलहन ये जितनी फसलें सारी फसलें जिसमें से गन्ना और गेहूं धान तो बिल्कुल ही नष्ट ही मान बराबर चलिए.
The rain deficiency means India is likely to produce 8 to 9% less rice compared to last year. A food security worry that the government says it is addressing on priority by imposing a 20% duty on the export of all non-basmati rice and banning the export of broken rice, which is used as animal feed. Another big question, will the government be able to continue with the free ration scheme? With Himanshu Shekhar and Divya Wadhwa, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
Well, the Supreme Court has held the role of anchors as very important while coming down on TV channels over hate speech. It also asked why the government is remaining a mute spectator. While hearing a batch of petitions, Justice K.M. Joseph observed that hate speeches on mainstream media or social media are unregulated. It's the anchor's duty to see that hate speech doesn't continue. He also said that the government should not take an adversarial stand but assist the court. The matter will next be heard on the 23rd of November, by when the court wants the central government to clarify if it intends to act on the Law Commission recommendations on curbing hate speech. Now, after a survey of madrasas across Uttar Pradesh, the Yogi Adityanath government has now ordered a survey of all waqf property in the state too. A waqf property is a movable or immovable property donated by any person for any purpose recognized by the Muslim law as pious, religious or charitable. AIMIM Chief Asaduddin Owaisi has already reacted to the move, calling it illegal. A student's death by suicide at a university in Punjab has triggered massive protests on the campus as students demand an investigation. The 21-year-old student who took the extreme step was pursuing a degree in design at the Lovely Professional University. Now a professor has been named in the case for abetment to suicide. Muhammad Ghazali reports.
Just days after massive protests in Chandigarh University over reports of obscene videos of students being leaked, another massive campus protest. This time by students of Lovely Professional University in Punjab's Kapurthala district. The protests erupted after a student, Agunes Dilip from Kerala, ended his life allegedly by hanging in the university campus. University authorities and the police say the student took his life for personal reasons.
ਅੱਜ ਮਿਤੀ 20/9/2022 ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਾਮ ਕਰੀਬਨ 5:30 ਵਜੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਲਵਲੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਫਗਵਾੜਾ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਰਿਸੀਵ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਐਲਪੀਯੂ ਦੇ ਫਸਟ ਈਅਰ ਦੇ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟ ਨੇ ਬੜਾ ਹੀ ਮੰਦਭਾਗਾ ਕਦਮ ਚੁੱਕਿਆ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਸੁਸਾਈਡ ਕਮਿਟ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਰੰਤ ਕਾਰਵਾਈ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਮੌਕੇ ਤੇ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਕੇ
A suicide note has been found in which the student has blamed a professor from his previous institute. Agun was earlier a student of NIT Calicut and had apparently left that institute. The university administration clarified that the student had faced some issues in NIT Calicut and hence took the extreme step. The police is waiting for the arrival of Agun's family.
In the last 1 week, private universities in Punjab have seen huge student protest. And in both the protests, be it at Chandigarh University in Mohali or Lovely Professional University here in Kapurthala, the administration or the college authorities have been blamed to cover up such incidents. A student's safety should be the topmost priority of every college or university administration. In Kapurthala, Muhammad Ghazali for NDTV.
Some international news now. Major protest against the hijab is in its 5th day in Iran. Videos and photos of women burning their hijab and cutting their hair have emerged on social media. The protest is in anger over the custodial death of Mahsa Amini. Her shocking death has united the women in Iran in solidarity against the imposition of a dress code on women. The UN Acting High Commissioner for Human Rights has called for an immediate probe.
The death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini has sparked violent protests and motivated some women to cut their hair in public in a stand against the Iranian government. Security forces in Iran cracked down as protests and international criticism continued over the custody death of a 22-year-old girl who was detained for violating the country's dress code. Amini, who was Kurdish, was arrested last week by Iran's morality police for not properly covering her hair with a hijab, according to a statement from Acting United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights. Amini collapsed at a detention center, fell into a coma, and died 3 days later. Now, the UN urges that this tragic death must be impartially investigated by an independent, competent authority.
There are reports that Ms. Amini was beaten on the head with a baton, and her head was banged against the vehicle by so-called morality police. Authorities have stated that she died of natural causes. Our office has received numerous and verified videos of violent treatment of women, including slapping women across the face, beating them with batons, and throwing them into police vans. The authorities must stop targeting, harassing, and detaining women who do not abide by the hijab rules.
Iranian police say Amini died of a heart attack and released footage purportedly showing the moment she collapsed. Her family told local media she had no history of heart trouble and said witnesses reported seeing her shoved into a police car. The controversy is sensitive for the Iranian president, who is currently in New York to address the UN General Assembly for the first time. Iran's government did not immediately react to the UN statement, but has previously criticized the work of UN investigators examining rights issues in their country. Some Iranian lawmakers claimed outsiders, including news organizations backed by Iran's enemies in Saudi Arabia, were exploiting Mahsa Amini's death. They have nevertheless continued to promise an inquiry. Parmeshwar Bava for NDTV.
Some tragic news now. 58-year-old comedian Raju Srivastava died in AIIMS this morning after a month-long struggle since he suffered a cardiac arrest in a gym. People expressed their grief at the death of the man who made them all laugh. The Prime Minister expressed his condolences at Srivastava's untimely demise.